Hello, friends. On the night of June 7th, while most of us were sleeping, a swarm of Ukrainian attack drones crossed the southern front at low altitude heading towards the Chongar bridge. It wasn't a group of storm shadows. It wasn't Atacom's missiles. They were the new Behemoth drones, flying between 90 and 300 meters above the ground, each carrying 75 kilos of explosives divided into two separate warheads. And when morning came, we could see that one of Crimea's key logistical arteries had been put out of service. Today we'll examine this system closely, as I believe it's among the most interesting additions to Ukraine's attack ecosystem this year. First, some context. The Chongar Bridge is not just any bridge. The IR-280 route is a key land corridor connecting Russian territory to occupied Crimea through southern Ukraine, crucial for moving ammunition and fuel from the peninsula to its forces in the Julia and Poli sector, Zaporizhia. Cutting off Chongar would sever this vital supply line, which is the defenders' goal. Zaporizhia. Cutting off Chongar means strangling an essential supply line, and that's exactly what the defenders decided to do. The operation was assigned to the Phalanx Multi-Domain Operations Center of the 1st Assault Regiment, working together with the 475th Assault Regiment Code 9.2. The package combined the already proven FP2 strategic attack drones with the new Behemoth drones in what appears to have been their first documented combat use. The attack damaged the bridge deck and forced the occupying forces to suspend traffic. A second attack was carried out on June 9, finishing the job, since although the bridge did not collapse, it was left completely unusable for heavy vehicle traffic, and in fact, Russian sources say that repairs could take up to 4 weeks. A key logistical route for the Horta was cut off for a month during a war of attrition. Come on, we can all agree that this is worse than just losing a column of trucks. Alright, now let's see exactly what this thing is. The Behemoth was developed by two Ukrainian companies, Glefa and Culver Aerospace, which presented it publicly at the Wild Drones exhibition at the end of May 2026. Although the first reports of its existence and use in combat had been circulating on social media since May 21st, Culver Aerospace is not an unknown company, as it produces the Scythe reconnaissance drone and a portfolio of systems that have been declared secret. As for classification, this system belongs to what the Ukrainians call the middle strike class, which are attack mosquito drones with a combat radius of up to 300 kilometers, designed to hit bridges, railway nodes, depots, and concentrations in the enemy's operational rear. The dimensions are quite compact for what it can carry: 2.8 meters wide, 2.2 meters long, and half a meter high, in a delta wing Shahed type aerodynamic configuration with an integrated fuselage. But what's really interesting is the warhead, which is an unusual tandem warhead. Let me explain. In the nose section, it carries a 40-kilogram high-explosive fragmentation charge, and right behind it, it has a second 35-kilogram thermobaric warhead. That is, 75 kilograms of payload, which is very significant for a drone of this size. If we remember, the Shahed carries an explosive payload of 50 kilograms. The reason for this is that the first charge clears the way, while the second penetrates deeper and explodes inside the target, causing much greater damage. Against fortifications, concrete structures, or even against surface ships, that 1-2 combination completely changes the damage effect per unit launched. This was reported by Russian sources, not by the Ukrainians. The flight profile is nothing new, since it can fly at a cruising speed of only 180 kilometers per hour and a maximum of 200 kilometers per hour during its final attack. It's logical since it uses a propeller-driven internal combustion engine. What's interesting is that it can fly at an altitude of 90 meters, which allows it to confuse Russian surveillance radars by blending in with ground noise, an effect that is amplified by using materials that are semi-transparent to radar. This means that it only reflects a fraction of the waves it receives, which reduces its RCS, making it harder to detect for the few anti-aircraft batteries Ivan has left in Crimea. The Behemoth has 3 control modes, including fully autonomous flight, semi-automatic flight, and attack with manual guidance. To connect with its operator, it uses a Starlink antenna. In simple terms, what that means is that the same fuselage can carry out a programmed attack against fixed targets in areas with high electronic interference. Or a human operator can monitor the mission all the way to the final impact against a moving target, or one that requires high precision. Another interesting feature is that the preparation time before launch does not exceed 15 minutes, which is a great advantage in interdiction operations. On the other hand, in April, Chongar Aerospace signed a cooperation agreement with the German company Helsing for the joint development and production of long-range systems at a factory in Germany that will be funded by the German government. For this reason, it is likely that the Behemoth will continue to evolve thanks to the integration of Germany's defense industrial base, which is just beginning to awaken. To conclude, the strengths of the system are evident, since the tandem warhead is clearly capable of destroying hard targets, as it already demonstrated in Chongar. The flexibility of its 3 control modes offers defenders a flexible response to a battlefield with intense electronic warfare interference. The deployment time is excellent for attacking targets of opportunity, and serial production is already underway. Something that isn't clear to me and has me intrigued is that a drone visually identical to the Behemoth has appeared on social media, which some sources have identified as the Shahed, and it supposedly has a range of up to 1,400 kilometers. Chongar Aerospace has confirmed the existence of a variant called Behemoth Deep Strike, whose specifications have not been revealed. Now, if the 1,400 kilometer version exists and is capable of carrying the tandem warhead, Ivan's bridges should start to tremble because of what's coming their way. For those who want to see additional content, we invite you to subscribe to our Patreon, where for just $1 you'll have access to uncensored war videos. Visit our store and discover items from Ukraine's distinguished units. Each purchase directly supports United 24, contributing to reconstruction, civilian aid, and defense. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel.